Quietude Manual No. 1. Subject: The Anatomy of a Bad Mood. Revision. Final. Please listen in a space where you are not required to be helpful. The most offensive thing you can say to someone in the middle of a bad mood is, just breathe. It is a piece of advice that is as useless as it is condescending, implying that your current state of internal collapse could be solved by a basic biological function you've been performing successfully since birth. When you are in the fog, you don't want a hack. You don't want to pivot to positivity or start a gratitude journal. You want to sit in the wreckage and count the pieces. You want the world to acknowledge that today, for no reason at all, the sheer physics of existence have become heavy, greasy, and deeply unwelcome. A bad mood is a rare moment of total honesty. It is the day the PR department of your brain goes on strike, leaving you with nothing but the raw, unedited footage of your own life. Normally, we are excellent at lying to ourselves. We tell ourselves that our jobs are fulfilling, that our furniture is tasteful, and that we are blessed. But in the cold light of a bad mood, you realise that your job is a series of meaningless emails sent to people who don't like you. Your furniture is just compressed sawdust held together by a prayer. And blessed is just a word people use when they're afraid to admit they're lucky. We begin with the identification. You didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. That's a nursery rhyme for people who are afraid of their own darkness. You woke up and realised that the performance of being a person is a pyramid scheme, and you're tired of paying the dues. It's the ambient dread, the mood that arrives without a cause, like a stray dog that has decided to live under your porch. You aren't sad. Sadness has a certain dignity to it. Sadness is cinematic. This is different. This is a low-resolution day. You are just unconvinced by the world. You look at a bowl of cereal and find the milk's commitment to being white to be annoying. You look at your own hands and wonder why they have to be so needy. Always reaching for things, always typing, always wanting to be washed. Next, we enter the petty audit. In this state, your mind becomes a forensic investigator of the minor. You are suddenly violently aware of the sound of someone eating a crisp 3 rooms away, the sound of their jaw working, the rhythmic crunch-swallow breath becomes the most profound injustice in human history. You find yourself staring at a polite email from a colleague, someone who used a semicolon where a comma would have sufficed, and you feel a genuine flickering desire to see their entire career end in flames. You wonder how a person could be so reckless with punctuation while you are here, suffering under the weight of a Tuesday. It's a dark comedy of errors. You are currently a person who could be brought to tears by a slow-loading web page, or the specific, cheerful yellow of a post-it note. You feel a deep, burning resentment toward the person who designed the packaging of your toothpaste, because the cap is a little too small, and your fingers are a little too clumsy, and the whole interaction feels like a personal conspiracy organised by the universe to prove that you are incompetent. This is the humour of the bad mood. The scale is broken. You are a complex, carbon-based life form, capable of splitting the atom and composing symphonies, and yet you are currently being held hostage by a slightly itchy sock that has moved 2 millimeters out of place. 2 millimeters. That is the distance between a functional adult and a psychological breakdown. This leads us to the donning of the social costume. The real tragedy of the bad mood is the requirement to hide it. We spend our energy navigating the polite interaction trap. We are forced to put on the customer service face. We say, "I'm fine, just a bit tired," which is the universal code for, "I am currently a ticking bomb of resentment, but I have been trained to prioritise your comfort over my reality." We are terrified that if we show our teeth, if we admit that we find the "what are your plans for the weekend" conversation to be a form of psychological torture, the social fabric will unravel. This manual suggests a different path, the minimum viable human. Stop the performance. The world does not need your forced enthusiasm. If you cannot be kind, be quiet. If you cannot be helpful, be invisible. There is a profound power in simply refusing to smile at things that aren't funny. Watch the way people react when you don't offer the expected, polite chuckle at their terrible joke. They will look at you with a mixture of fear and respect, as if you've just revealed a hidden weapon. You haven't. You've just stopped lying. You'll find that when you stop trying to lighten the mood actually becomes lighter. It's the effort of pretending that's weighing you down. You are carrying a 50-pound mask, no wonder your neck hurts. Despite the urge to escape, you must embrace the stay. We're told to get over it. We're told to change our state. But why? A bad mood is a valid destination. It's a rainy Tuesday in the soul. You don't fix the rain. You just find a dry place to sit and wait for it to stop. Stay in the fog. Lean into the pettiness. If you want to spend 40 minutes researching why the local council hasn't fixed a pothole on a street you don't even live on, do it. If you want to listen to a song on repeat until the lyrics lose all meaning, do it. Watch the way your mind tries to find someone to blame, your partner, your boss, the government, the moon. And then realise that the mood doesn't need a villain, it just needs a witness. It is a biological software update. Your brain is defragmenting. It's clearing out the cache of all the small humiliations and minor annoyances you've swallowed over the last month. You are currently under maintenance. Do not attempt to run heavy applications like empathy or ambition while the progress bar is still at 12%. Finally, we observe the dissipation. There is a specific moment, usually late in the evening, after the sun has gone down and the world has quieted, when the fog begins to lift. It doesn't happen all at once, it's like a fever breaking. You'll find yourself looking at the same itchy sock and realising it's just a piece of cotton. You'll see that email with the semicolon and realise it wasn't a declaration of war, but just a mistake made by a tired person who is probably having their own bad mood. You will feel a slight sense of betrayal that the mood has left you. There was a certain comfort in the darkness, a certain sharpness to the world when everything was an enemy. But you are back. You are a little bit tired, a little bit wiser, and remarkably untraumatized by your own darkness. You didn't fix the mood, you outlasted it. You survived a day where you were your own worst enemy, and that is a more honest achievement than anything you could put on a resume. The air in the room hasn't changed, but your relationship to it has. The fog hasn't necessarily vanished, but you've stopped trying to fan it away with your hands. You have performed the rarest of modern acts. You have sat still while being uncomfortable. The progress bar is finished. The internal audit is complete. You can feel the gears of the world starting to grind again, demanding your participation, your smile, and your productivity. But you don't have to give them everything just yet. You have navigated the anatomy of your own darkness and found that it wasn't a monster, just a very tired, very human machine. Close the manual. Put the mask back on if you must, but remember the weight of it now. You aren't just a person in a mood. You are the one who watched it pass. The session is over. The files are saved. Proceed with caution.